Good evening and welcome everyone to the City of Gilbert regular council meeting, June 25th of 2024 at 6:26 p.m. We'll do roll call. Councilor Ponnen. Here. Mayor Smith here. Councilor Poulos. Here. And Councilor Skinzich. Here. Councilor Heitzman is absent with notice. We also have in attendance interim clerk Mike Skirbick, attorney Colleen Kaslucher, chief teacher, public works director Sammy. We have Wendy from campground and Sue from the library. And we do have a quorum. If everybody would please stand and join us with for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And I believe we have a couple additions.
Item K would be discussion of waste pickup for people whose basements were flooded. I think you had Friday 6/28 and Monday 7/1. That'd be the window that we would be working on that on. And item L would be the declaration of an emergency given our storm. And then I guess if you want to add item M for discussion or what, I think Sam brought quotes in for the area down by the boat landing.
Cedar Island drying. Yep.
If you want to add that, we can.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, we don't know if we're going to get the money returned or not, but it can't sit the way it is.
No.
Pretty critical.
Correct.
That's all I have.
So we have those three additions.
I'll move.
Moved by Councilor Poulos.
I'll support.
Supported by Councilor Skinzich to add these three items to the agenda. For K, the waste water pickup for Friday, what were the dates again, Mike?
6/28 and
6/28 and July 1st.
Yeah, so we'd have pickup on that Friday and that Monday morning. Some people might have to clean it up on the weekend. They can't do it during the week, so that'd give them a window of either Friday or Monday.
Correct.
Also, I think we should have them sign up at City Hall for this pickup, or
Yeah.
go around and just...
Sure.
Yeah, we'll discuss that when we get to this topic of the details.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. And for L, the deduction, or
Emergency.
yeah, the declaration of emergency. And M for the Cedar Island Drive repairs. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. None. Motion carries 4-0. And we'll move on to the consent agenda.
Move.
Moved by Councilor Poulos.
Support.
Supported by Councilor Skinzich. Any further discussion?
All the liquor licenses are in order, right?
They are.
Okay, good.
As soon as we get them done, as soon as we approve them tonight, they'll go off to the state. So the fire departments is already done because they brought it in a couple weeks earlier and they hit our last council meeting, but these are the rest of the bars in town. And we made the decision that we should send out invitations for them to get it done, and they've all followed through.
Excellent, thank you. All in favor, say aye. 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 Opposed, say nay. None, motion carries 4-0. And we were gonna have a public hearing, however, we're gonna table it for tonight until hopefully next council for the public hearing was on the addition to the ordinance for the Personnel Committee. So we will be tabling that and not having the public input tonight. However, I guess we can have a discussion on it yet for details? Or do we want to table it completely?
I think that we had everything pretty much in order, but our attorney has advised us they'd like some more specific language and part of the amendment to our ordinance. And until we do that, there's really no reason to discuss it. It doesn't really change the big picture. It just will spell out some limitations. And I thought we were good, but
Okay.
if they say we should tighten it up a little, we will do that.
Okay, so that item will be tabled.
I'll be happy to look at this first thing and try to get it out in the form for the next meeting.
Excellent.
It is effortless.
Excellent, thank you.
I was wondering there for a second.
Scan, sorry guys.
Oh, boy.
Happens to me too. Okay, so that is tabled and we will open it up for public input.
Good evening. I just have a couple of quick questions in regard to kind of the condition of how the city is after the storm. First of all, so I personally have checked out with the OHV park to see what the status is for them. I've been told that it's mostly open. I don't know if Ty, if you have any more information about that. And then the other one that I'm getting questions on is what is the status of the scuba diving at Lake Orbegon? There's some chatter in some scuba groups right now saying that it's questionable, and I think we need to get some answers back to some of those groups so that they know whether or not to plan to come to Gilbert or not. So I don't know if you have updates on either of those.
So the OHV park is mostly open. We had to rescue 3 people that spent the night out there after they got stuck in the mud pit. The mud pit's probably 8 feet up with water, so they were stuck. I don't know why they didn't walk out, so they fed the mosquitoes most of the night. But most of the roads are open back there, except for the backside and on the southeast portion of it. That just affects basically some of those backside Jeep trails. Most of the ATV trails are doing pretty good. So as far as the diving, as far as I know, nothing's closed. Yep, in fact, there's a couple tanks that were left behind that I think we have. So as far as I know, they've been still diving on both sides, so.
If I may mention, we had in Anoka and Hampton County. We had Anoka and Hampton County sheriffs come up and do their dive. They just did a little adjusting. They couldn't bring their big boat, but they brought things that they could use, and they did their diving successfully.
Yeah, and I know most diving groups don't have boats or apparatuses they use. They usually just walk in off the dock, and there's been no issue, so there's really been no discussion on that. So I'd say, yeah, it's open to any divers.
Okay, I will get back to the individuals that have contacted me and let them know that what they're hearing is not accurate.
Yeah, and if they have any questions, contact City Hall.
Contact City Hall. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for public hearing or public input? Thank you. We'll move on to the reports from mayor and council. I want to give a show a good, big thanks to Ty and the police department for, during the storm on Tuesday, my wife and I had just come back into town by 4:30, and it was pretty much a nightmarish. I ended up working or staying out until 10:30 cleaning the community center. The wife and I helped the city crews out, so I thank Sammy, Tim, and everybody that stayed out cleaning up the floodwaters at the community center, and Trudy and Justin and the guys at the wastewater treatment plant, making sure that it was running during the storm. We did find some issues, obviously, which Sammy and Trudy and everybody were working on, and hopefully we can get resolved. And that's about all I have written down. Councilor Podnan.
Well, it might seem like a minor thing, but there's been people asking me about the flag situation, if they're going up and when on the main street.
Yeah, we'll get them this week. Thanks for reminding me until we spaced it out. Since the storm, we've just been kind of busy mowing grass, a couple of guys mowing grass, and then a couple of guys working some of the storm stuff. But yeah, we will get that.
Okay, that's all I got.
Thank you. Councilor Poulos?
A couple things. One, also thank the fire department for directing the traffic and all the people that are trying to drive through it. The other thing is, I don't know why we have to talk about this all the time, but if you got a concern or something, come to the city with it, call the city hall, talk to the mayor, talk to one of us, but don't do it on Facebook, because that's just not the right way to do it. That's all I gotta say.
Thank you. Councilor Skinzich.
Yeah, kind of beating the same drum here. Thanks to departments, police, fire, city crew. I listened to the scanner that night, and I was kind of glad to be retired from the fire department, but they were all busy. There was a lot of things going on, and all the work you guys have done since, it's just ongoing, but thank you.
Yes, and I failed to thank the fire department. Yes, thanks for the updates, and tell the guys, job well done. They stood out in the rain when it was coming down and directed traffic, so I appreciate that. And I don't miss those days either, although I seem to be doing it. But excellent, thank you. And then we'll move on to the reports from staff, boards, and commissions. Fire Chief.
A couple things. Yeah, I want to reiterate how the departments worked together that night. Not only our own departments, but neighboring departments. I know on the fire side of it, we had water going over 135, called in Bowabic Township to slow traffic coming to Gilbert, because the water was probably a couple feet deep, and vice versa. Evelyn, we gave them a hand because 53 bridge was, well, I think by the end of the night was about 6 feet underneath that bridge going on. So everyone worked good together. I was able to get crews to each place where we needed to be. I kind of monitored the town and was on the phone with Tom a few times, and Sammy many times. So Sammy's crew was great, worked. We needed signs in Evelyn, so helped us with that. So everyone worked so good together, and it put a smile to my face. It's when it comes down to it, everyone does their job, and I don't think people realize how much is behind that. So thank you to all them. I do have a couple things that's under new business, but one thing for right now. I believe I mentioned a while back that OSHA's coming down with some new regulations for fire, first responders, ambulance, police. I was at our monthly St. Louis County Fire Chiefs meeting. We talked a lot about it. And then again this week at our regional chiefs meeting, we had Peter Makowski, who was in charge of our first responders, come to our regional this week. He works for, I believe, Senator Smith's office. She's only gotten 3 emails from townships or city councils on this. I'm going to forward an email for you guys. I have a copy of the short version, 40-page, but the actual one is 760 pages and almost impossible to read. But I ask that you guys take a look at this and maybe send a letter into the government, because what they're coming down with, we're not going to be able to have any responders. All these small towns, they'll go broke. A lot of the stuff they're mandating. I mean, firefighter full-blown physicals after 3 fires, not no more, $1,400 a pop. Separate add-on to a fire hall for an equipment room with special ventilation, exhaust systems in there. You name it, it goes on to all other departments too. So I'll get that emailed out to you guys tomorrow. If you got a chance to take a look, please send a letter in to our governor or whoever we need to do it. And Pete Makowski would be one to contact to see where that goes. I know as fire departments, our Regional Fire Chiefs Association is writing one together. Our coalition, East Range Coalition, which is 18 departments up in this area. The Arrowhead Coalition sent one. So a lot of these fire organizations are sending them, but we need you guys to also do it. They hear you more than they'll hear us. So that's all I have on that, and I'll be back under my new business.
Excellent. Thank you.
Any questions or anything?
No, thanks again for your response Tuesday. City Attorney Kaslucher?
No report tonight.
Thank you. Chief Teacher?
Mayor, Council, I don't have anything this evening other than the past week we responded to about 104 calls, so it's that time of year, so the next couple weeks be pretty busy, so we're moving pretty good, but nothing major. So, but if I'm able to excuse myself, as I have a meeting with the homeowners association here at 7 o'clock, so.
Yes, thank you. City Engineer Sam?
Wait a second, I thought you switched his title?
Well, that's what I'm reading. Public, yeah, I'm sorry.
That's fine. No, I don't really have nothing other than...
I'm giving them both.
Trying to fix all the storm damage stuff as we go. Got a couple other guys doing, our other stuff going around town. We got July coming up next week, so we're kind of switching gears to that, making sure everything's moving. That's about it. I know we did get another application for a summer hire. We just take that into account. We can always use another guy. But all I have, unless there's any questions of council for me, I know I got a list together of all the storm damage stuff I keep adding to it. Just been getting some stuff and come across some more here and there. But yeah, that's all I got.
I know I asked you earlier today, but the field behind the ball field for the crawl for the cure, is that drying up? Did you go see?
I did not. I know the road is fine. I think we'll probably end up crossing that bridge
Closer.
maybe next weekend, weekend after. Try to maybe drive one of the trucks in there or something to see what it actually is like. And if it's bad, well, a little bit different game plan. I think we can figure out somewhere.
Yeah, just as long as we can get any permitting in for,
Yeah.
or get it, the approval.
The issue, because, we'll, where our plows and stuff go, we can clean out that really well and get quite a few spots in there. And maybe we put the spots along the back road like we had figured out there. We just need to close that back road right down. So we can't put it on the road.
Yeah.
There's options for us. It still would be in the same vicinity, but I think the permit would still be good, so.
Are you talking behind the big field up here?
Yeah,
Upper field?
yeah, with all the moisture.
I was down there yesterday. I went to dinner with my dad's, was in the campground, and it didn't feel too bad yesterday. So I gotta believe after today with the wind and the sun.
It's drying up good.
I would think it was drying up pretty well, but
Good.
hopefully we don't get more. Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, we got a while to go, and I'm sure it's gonna rain. I just,
With summer, we can run probably a couple times.
yeah,
Hopefully not like that, though.
right. We've had enough of that. Exactly. That's all I had, Sam, thanks. Campground host, Wendy.
Good evening, everyone. Well, everything's been going pretty good at the campground. With the storm, we had a couple of spots washed out, but nothing major. So the campground held really well. And we've been making sure we get everything mowed so that everything's cleaned up and taken care of before the 4th. People are calling me about the conditions and asking, is it going to be safe for me to come up and camp? And I've been reassuring them that everything is good. So, but, coming from the south, they're hearing all this stuff and are worried whether their campsite is going to be flooded or not. I had another camper today get lost and not know how to get to the campground coming from the Holiday Station way. No idea where to turn. So I don't know what we can do about that, but something's got to happen out there to direct them down to Wisconsin Avenue. So other than that, my garden is growing really well. I got little tomatoes and little peppers and blooms on the cukes. So that's going awesome. Of course, I'm full for the 4th. I'm starting actually on the 2nd. They're coming in and I've got a wait list of about 20 people wanting to get in. So if anybody cancels, I'll have it filled. So that's about all I have.
Good, excellent. So what we need is signage.
Yes.
Could we put one of those campground flags that you'd mentioned that you wanted out down by the campground up at that corner of Wisconsin and Broadway? Or would that, tie left, need state approval because it's on the state highway?
I know we have some small little signs. I think they're up on top of the higher up on the pole. There was some signage, way signage stuff in the campground plan or whatever that was really nice, but that we just haven't moved that plan along. I know SCH, Matt reached out to me here this week and wanted to get a meeting for the campground plan and stuff, but I can't do it this week. Or the week next week, the week he had. So I'll have to schedule that. But I could look at trying to get some signage so we can see it both ways. But there should be something, maybe over on 135 as they come this way that we can see it a lot.
Turn on Wisconsin.
A little bit better both ways.
Yeah.
Or if we turn them down, right down Dakota from 135 and go around that way. But, we can talk about it in the next couple of weeks.
Now, would that be easier than having it on Wisconsin and then have one on Kansas or that little jot out by the recycle center?
Yeah, I know there was some discussions years ago about that, and, you know, they didn't want them going down that back road for some reason. They wanted them to come through the center of town. I'd say that was years ago, things changed. It's just so congested out there with the signs at that Wisconsin intersection. You know, there's three signs on there, and us for to have it built enough ones.
So you can see exactly.
Mayor, if I could?
Yes.
Would it be worth changing the banner, the bigger banner, on a couple of those standards to?
We could, I mean, you know, maybe that's something to do as we look at going to a campground banner, you know.
Yeah, just a couple of them, one or two of them,
You know,
going each way.
Wisconsin, you know, so we can look at doing something like that. I'll look into what I can do and what would work and big enough so you can see it. If it costs quite a bit, I'll come back to the council. It's a couple $100 to just go for it.
I wouldn't think it'd be too bad, because we have those other banners that hang on, but
And if it's just two of them made from Wisconsin, it'd be about $50 a piece or something.
yeah,
And that'll be no problem.
and they're large too, so it would.
A lot of people get confused because in places it says that the campground's on Wisconsin Avenue when it's actually on Oregon.
Yeah.
So, and they get lost. They go down Wisconsin and then they miss the
The
campground.
campground, yep.
Yeah, Wisconsin turns to the left.
Yep.
Oregon Court.
Stays straight
Stays
to the right, yeah. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, what I heard, I remember way in the past, they wanted direct traffic right down the middle of Main Street for business purposes. They wanted the people to see the businesses in town. That's why they wanted them to come into the middle of town to turn down. That's what I remember 20 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
So as far as like where that road splits, do we have any signs?
Well, I'd have to have one made, but we can do something, you know, put some kind of sign there.
So we could do whatever we want there.
It's on the city property and lot where the rec center is or something.
Right, just pointing straight ahead anyway, so they don't take a left there.
I do want to add, and I mentioned this to Mike when we sat down about the SEH plan, one of the things that we need to consider with big rigs like that coming into the campground, campers are much larger than they used to be. They're effectively, many of them, the size of semi-trucks and the weight of semi-trucks. And so the infrastructure in the roads need to be able to handle that. And that's one of the reasons why you see Wisconsin Avenue East crumbling, is it's not designed to handle that. So that's something in the bigger plan that the city needs to consider, is the path has to be strong enough to handle those big rigs.
Yeah, and Sam's brought that, made us aware. We talked about that last spring, wasn't it? We met down there. That road does need some work. That's why I would think directing them for now down Dakota in that little jaunt in front of the recycling center, because that road is rough. So just food for thought. But we need some signage.
I'll look into it here.
Perfect. Thank you. Anything else, Wendy?
That's it, thank you.
Thank you. And then Sue, Library Board
Okay.
Director.
The summer reading program is going real well. We're happy with it. Monday, little Miss Gilbert will be in the auditorium at the community center at 6 o'clock. So I hope everybody gets over there to encourage the kids. We're going to close at 2 o'clock on the 3rd of July. Everyone likes to put all their chairs up on the ramp, and so we're going to get out of your way. And then we're going to stay closed Friday also. We'll be back Monday, and that's when we'll have our Northern Lights Kids for Kids concert. That's at 11 o'clock in the morning. And that's for families. They do an awesome job. These kids are from all over the world. And then Thursday, the 11th, 6 p.m. in the auditorium again, we're going to have our Raptors. And that's a program for everyone. I think you'll all enjoy that. And that's all that's coming up in the next 2 weeks.
Busy. What time was little Miss Gilbert going to be there?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, okay. Perfect. Thank you. And lastly, interim clerk Mike.
Good. I think we've talked everything over. We're in a good spot. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. And I just want to make a comment. I want to thank Mike for the work he's putting in and helping us get things done. He's had to walk into and learn everything, and I think you're doing a very good job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Then we'll move on to the old business. Stantec change order number 27.
My understanding, that's been in place for quite some time. Somehow it didn't ever get approved, but it's part of Sam and I discussed it. It's been something everybody was aware of, the council was aware of. So to move forward with taking care of it, we need to just ratify it or whatever you want to call it.
So basically just make a motion to approve it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Move.
Moved by Councilor Polis,
I'll second.
supported by Councilor Skinsich. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. None, motion carries 4-0. And on to new business. Item A has been tabled. We'll bring Mark back up. Fire Department radio purchase.
Yes, we're looking at purchasing 6 new portable radios, the APX N50s, which are the new encrypted radios, which the government is switching to. Well, it started 2024, I think it might be up to 2026 now, but they do have the encryption availability that they can do it remotely from, and that's the new radio that you're gonna have to buy anytime in the future. We're looking to purchase this with that money. I believe it came from the state for public safety that was split between fire and police. So yeah, this isn't money out of the budget or off the city. This is graciously donated by the state. So I'm looking for your approval to purchase 6 radios.
Move.
And hold 1 second though, just, I did up, because the original quote was 5 and Mark went out, got another quote. The new total is $30,834.54. So it's the same thing, and I believe we have a motion on the floor.
Yeah, 30,000 what?
834.54.
Yeah, at the time, I didn't know what the split was going to be, so I just got a quote for 5, and 6 fits into that budget, so. Yep.
You're gonna need more radios in the future, right? These
Yes, yeah. I currently, right now, we have 4 that are able to be encrypted, but we have to send them away. So with this 6, we'll be up to 10. We have 22 firefighters right now, so I've been trying to purchase 1 or 2 a year off our budget monies just for that. So this this money from the government was beautiful for this
Have
project.
you talked to Chief Teacher? Because I know the PD's in the same boat. They're going to have to
Correct.
buy new radios too, but is there any funding for that?
No,
Nothing out there?
I know St. Louis County looked into it, according to Dewey Johnson, told us at the chiefs meeting, and the amount for all of PD, first responders, public works, fire was, just unbelievable, millions and millions of dollars, so I don't think they're coming out with anything. This is something that's unfortunately handed down to city governments.
Yep. Yep. All right, thanks. Motion by Councilor Pulis,
I'll second.
supported by Councilor Skinsich. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. None. Motion carries to approve the purchase of 6 radios, for $30,834.54. Thank you.
Thank you. I believe the next one has to do with me too.
Probably, if I can find it. Yes, Resolution 2024-17, accepting donation from fire relief. Moved by Councilor Pulis.
Support.
Supported by Councilor Skinsich. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. None. Motion carries 4-0. Perfect.
If I do have one or two quick things, if I may.
Yes.
We did receive a check yesterday in the mail from Lake Country Power for the grant that we applied for, so $2,500 grant we got, so thank you, Lake Country Power. We were putting towards 2 EV blankets, electric vehicle blankets. The beauty of the blankets are, as you probably are aware, it's pretty tough to put out an electric vehicle fire. Hours and hours of putting water on it. These blankets, 2 firefighters, one can grab each corner and pull it along up over the vehicle, and it smothers the fire, and it'll have to sit there for quite a while, but it is a huge safety factor on us as firefighters and the public, so that was nice to get. So thank you, Lake Country Power. One last thing I forgot to mention when it was my turn. The 3rd of July is coming, public. The fire department has their annual fundraiser. Please come and support us. Have a beverage and a Polish from Koshers. And also the Crawl for the Cure is coming on July 19th, Friday night, which is they're having a live band, kind of a street dance type thing again this year down at outside the arena. They graciously asked for us to do the beer gardens there for another fundraiser for us for the 2nd year in a row, and we're also adding Polish and brats this year to that. I talked to Mr. Ward today. He is coming up for the 3rd of July. He's bringing the Jeep that they raffle off, so it'll be parked at the fire hall, in front of the fire hall, and he'll be selling tickets, $1 for a ticket to win a very nice refurbished Jeep. So hopefully Chief Teacher draws my name this year. But so please come and support. We'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. And D is approval of the utility billing clerk hiring recommendation.
We had 3 applicants. We ended up having only 2 interviews, scored them out. The hiring committee makes a recommendation that we hire Hannah Dewhurst for the position, and she's ready to go and move forward. So something that's been in the air for a while. Be nice to close it out, and I think we're in a good spot. We have someone capable who can do the job for us.
Do we have a contract for her that?
It
Is there a
is part of the
contract?
union contract, Bob.
It's a union contract
Yeah,
that she's been
that
working
position,
under.
that position is, the definition of compensation and everything for that position is part of our union contract.
Has she kind of been working underneath?
She's been doing all kinds of things here for us, but that's the, where her compensation has been and.
Based on that.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
what's
Okay.
based on, so,
All right.
correct.
I'll move.
Moved by Counselor Skinsich,
No second.
seconded by Counselor Potenon. Any further discussion?
I just have one question. So who decides the job duties of that position?
The job duties currently were based upon the approved in-place job description that you had. Part of that job description allows the assignment of additional duties as needed, and I know that the council in the past discussed the potential of turning that into a full-time position. There are certainly things that we could assign to that individual in moving forward. If we do that at some point, then we would probably do an MOU with the union before we move down that path, just to make sure everybody was happy, but that is certainly a possibility moving forward.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say nay. None. Motion carries 4-0. And item E, public sale of 2017 Polaris Sportsman 570. Chief Teacher explained that he's purchasing, which we approved last Friday, the purchase of a new ATV, so he's gonna sell this 2017 Polaris on a sealed bid method, and he will have it displayed, and we will be accepting the bids. I'm not sure what the dates are, when it'll open, but he'll, excuse me, get that information to Mike, and he said he was gonna display it outside of City Hall on the 3rd. There will be a reserve bid on it, but more information will be presented. If you have any questions, contact the City Hall.
I'll move.
Moved by Counselor Pulis.
I'll support.
Supported by Counselor Skinsich. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say nay. None. Motion carries 4-0. And the repost of the wastewater operator job. Unfortunately, we had no applicants the last time we posted it. We're hoping this time around we can get some applications.
Move.
Moved by Counselor Pulis,
I'll support.
supported by Counselor Skinsich. Any further discussion?
Are we reaching out any farther or anywhere else, Mike, to try to find somebody?
Last time we reached out to Rural Water Association and the college in Vermillion that has these people. We were on the website for the League of Minnesota Cities, and we advertised in 2 newspapers.
Was there St. Cloud? Do they have a school also?
I don't know, Sam, do they?
I think I heard that they do have
Yeah.
a school. I'll talk to Trudy, and maybe she knows what the school is. I think I
Right.
heard that recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we can find out.
We'll cast a wider net if we're able.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say nay. None. Motion carries 4-0. And on to G, hiring of second summer helper.
Basically, the last time you approved hiring 2 people, one of them we had difficulty in the background. We've since had an additional applicant. The name's not sitting here because I believe that person's a minor, but they're given if they pass the criminal background check, they might be a good addition to the staff for the next couple of years to come. Sam has talked to him, and I've talked to him. So it's just sitting there. If we decide to move forward and hire him, then we will go through a background check, but other than that, he should be good to go. And with all the storm stuff, Sam probably needs more help than he did a month ago.
I would agree with that.
I'll second.
Moved by Counselor Polis, seconded by Counselor Skinsich. Any further discussion?
They have to be over 18, is that a requirement, or what? Or what's our
No,
requirement?
it has been passed, to be over 18.
Is this one over 18?
I don't know, we will find that out in the background check. It doesn't specifically say in our application process. I don't think I've asked about it, if we ask ages, but from what I know is you can't ask age now.
The individual does have a driver's license, which was one of the factors with the other applicant that did not. And so that put Sam's crew in a difficult position to have to ferry somebody all over town. So that's where we're at.
If he comes back and he's over 18, it's no big deal. He's over 17, it's really not that big of a deal. If he's under 16, that's where it becomes an insurance issue for running in town. But I think this individual is over 18. I thought he was over 18. Didn't quite ask him his age.
We don't have a name that we can say then? Is that what you're saying?
I didn't know if he was a minor or not, so I didn't want to publicly state that until it is. Individual can announce it at our next meeting and be happy to, so just need to dot the i's and make sure we're in the right spot.
Okay.
So would this officially hire him and we could start him right away, or would we have to?
I believe we could go ahead and put him on.
Attorney, go.
Okay.
What would your,
Yeah, I mean, I think you can do a contingency vote if he passes the background test check, and if the age is appropriate, you can just go ahead and approve it, and then.
Thank you.
If you have an issue, then you can bring it back to the next meeting.
Thank you.
do we want to change that, modify that then? To include that?
To include, yeah.
And that's what we do with every hire we have.
Yeah.
It's our standard.
So with the hiring with the contingency of passing the background and the age is suffice. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say nay. None, motion carries 4-0. And then we have a training request, Trudy Salo, continuing ed training request. Moved by Counselor Polis.
I'll second.
Supported by Counselor Skinsich. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. None, motion carries 4-0. And we have a library board appointment. Jan Hoffman to be appointed to the library board.
I'll move.
Moved by Counselor Skinsich, supported by Counselor Pulis. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say nay. None. Motion carries 4-0. And then we'll go on to K for the wastewater pickup. Debris from the storm damage.
Any debris, stuff that is in basements and whatnot?
Correct.
And then Sam did ask that we have them come to City Hall so that they don't have to search the town looking for them. Then we'll have a list of where we need to pick stuff up.
Is there going to be a charge for this, or is this not being charged?
It would be up to the city council if they want to do a charge or not, and other towns weren't doing it.
Can you wrap this up into your, into the possible
FEMA reimbursement, yes.
Open so, but I left, I didn't ask them.
And it is, it can be, and that's what the chief had mentioned, to keep record of it. And then they're hoping we could get reimbursement from it.
It's a little different than just somebody's
Flooded basement,
Right,
correct.
yeah.
But I think if we can help, there's
Right.
what, a dozen, maybe 2 dozen, and I know a lot of them already took care of it. So if we can help those that haven't gotten out or have a hard time getting it out, I say we help them. As long as we can fit it into the schedule and they report it.
Yeah, but we're not helping them take it out the basement. They help
Yeah,
put it
they
on.
get it out to the curb.
Right.
Out to the front of the curb or back alley, but make
Yeah.
sure you don't have an alley, let's put it on the front curb, but let's put it in the alley. And then call City Hall and tell them what you're putting out there, and we'll just kind of jot it down. And then we can just go and pick it up. Pickup would be this coming Friday and this coming Monday.
Friday the 28th and Monday the 1st of July.
And just those 2 days, unless we get a onslaught, add an extra day in there, but just those 2 days. Say I don't think it's going to be a lot, but
That gives them the weekend too, because some people may not be able to get to it till then, so kind of opens the door for a few more.
Right.
Will this be posted on the city website then, so people are aware?
Yeah, we should get it posted on the websites and
Maybe
the
on the
internet.
board?
Pass it, we will post it.
On the board
Correct.
also, maybe?
And
too?
on the board for post, yes.
I'll make a motion for it then.
Motion by Councilor Skinsich, supported by Councilor Pulis to approve the water damage pickup for residents of Gilbert for Friday, June 28th and Monday, July 1st, with the contingencies that they call and report it to the city. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. None, motion carries 4-0. And then L is the declaration, or proclamation, I'm sorry, declaration of emergency. I'm going to read. Whereas the mayor, city council of the city of Gilbert, Minnesota, find that a local emergency exists in the city of Gilbert, Minnesota, and whereas starting on June 18th, 2024, the city of Gilbert experienced an extreme weather event causing significant damage to infrastructure and posing a significant threat to public safety. And whereas the mayor and city council find that this situation threatens the health, safety, and welfare of citizens of the community. Now, therefore, the mayor and city council of the city of Gilbert declare that this situation constitutes a local emergency, continuing until the situation can be properly addressed. Dated this 25th day of June of 2024. And what this, we hope, will get us on the list to recoup some funding from the state, county, or even FEMA. So, we need a motion to approve that, right? For a declaration?
I think you've read it, I mean, you can just declare it, but if you want to do a motion, just
I'll move.
Moved by Councilor Pulis,
I'll second.
supported by Councilor Skinsich. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say nay. None, motion carries 4-0. And then M, the Cedar Island Drive repairs, which is probably our main priority for the damage we received during the storm. The road is completely impassable. And we learned that it is the city's responsibility, not the county. So to get that road repaired, Mike, you have something?
Either Sam or myself, he did get 2 different bids. I think that Sam looked at adding an additional, either doubling up on 2 36-inch culverts. One's $45,400 for the low bid, the other's $56,100, including 2 culverts to replace the existing one and then doing some ditching and cleaning up of the ditches that are there. Does that sound accurate, Sam?
So the 45,000 is the same amount of work that's being done for the 56, or the 56 added some ditch cleaning in their bid?
No, it's just, so the 56 added 2 culverts versus 1. So the 46 is just one 36-inch culvert going across that. You're replacing the one that's there.
But don't you need a bigger culvert there?
Well, that's why we would go with the 2 36.
Yeah, that's why you shouldn't even,
That's
the
why-
person that bid the 1 should be bidding the 2, because you're not going to alleviate the problem with it.
No, it's the same bidder that he gave you.
The one bid it both ways as an alternate, and he was still the low bidder. The other one just bid it having 2 36-inch culverts.
So you're just giving us the low bidder is 56 for the double culvert?
Correct.
Okay.
56,100.
And when they say ditching, how far up are they going up
I
the
told
ditch?
him to go about 80 feet off the road.
80 feet up, yeah.
Is that asphalt too? Did everything get destroyed there? I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be ripping all that out.
It's, it eroded, undermined about halfway on the north side of the road. And there's a spot on the south side that it just kind of sank and sloughed off about a 6-foot circle.
Okay.
Just got the top of it. The reason we couldn't go to a taller culvert is there's a failed force main in there. There's a natural gas line in there. We got a city force main in there, plus we got a city water.
Oh, so you couldn't go deeper with
I
that?
don't know the elevations on any of them, so, I was there, figured just going with 236s side by side, if there's more water coming down, it'll be able to handle.
Do they have some type of booth that links them together then?
Not that I know of. They just put side by side with 2 aprons and pack clay in the middle of them so they don't wash out between them. And we've done it over behind Perry Hansen's over in Genoa. We ended up doing that because of the water out of that ditch in Genoa was so much that we needed to put 2 there. We ended up putting 2 side by side. They handled that rainstorm really well. I don't know if, this is something that I just went out and got 2 quick bids. I don't know if we need to get the engineer involved with it or anything like that, or council feels.
Well, it's kind of a emergency fix. I mean, that road can't be gone down for a while.
Emergency fix, I don't know if we need them there to watch, make sure that they're putting the road bed back right, or if we need any, I don't know what that road is rated at, if it's rated at a 10-ton road or anything like that. That would be my only concern. I'm sure the culverts, I don't have any issues with the culvert. It's just, I just was wondering, do we need the engineer and just involved with this for any reason, to your thoughts?
What's your thoughts,
Just to
Mike,
make
on
sure
the
that it's done
engineering?
correctly, I guess would be my, somebody to keep an
Contractor
eye
should
on.
know what he's doing.
I would
Look at
think
the
so.
Biologic Main Street though.
Well,
I don't have any.
But
That's
they had
my concern.
inspectors on the Bilovic Main Street though, so.
Right.
That's what you're saying? Inspectors don't always make the.
Wow, it'd be nice to have somebody there, I guess, just making sure
Or at least look at it before.
T's are
it's done.
crossed, dots are, I's are dotted, but.
I don't have any issues that he's not going to do the job right.
Right.
He's done work in our town for years, so that's not an issue. It's just, I don't know what we need for road.
So,
bidding.
can we say the name
What's that?
of the contractor that
I
we're
don't see
talking
why
about?
not. I
public information. It's Joel and Saab.
Oh, it's Joel and Saab?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm sure they've done several of them, so they know what they're doing.
And the other one was CNC Winger, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like I say,
Wasabi didn't bid on it?
No, I didn't even call them. I called them on some other stuff now, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If you want to see if they come in lower or get another number, we can do that, but.
Well, it depends on time. I mean, you know, this road could, you know, they may not even be, when did they say they could be there?
Yeah, their focus, you know, Masabi does a lot more paving and dirt work and a lot less putting in culvert type work, but.
Yeah.
I didn't ask them. I know it would be soon. I would hope he would be able to get there before the weekend.
Yeah, it'd be nice if he could move it up on his list to get it done right away, you know.
We need to get.
I have them doing some digging in town tomorrow. I had a storm sewer. It's washed out behind downtown bar. It's a patch we got to do. So I got him doing that. This was a bigger job, so I didn't really know the cost, so that's why I had him give me the cost on this versus that other one. So, but yeah.
I guess I would make the motion for the double culvert.
Oh, for sure.
Move forward with that.
Yeah.
Support.
Yeah, and then as far as the inspection, if Sam, you could just go down there and make sure that they're going into the ditch 80 feet or whatever, something like that. They know what they're doing as far as putting the culverts in, but, you know.
I could be there, you know.
Yeah. Right.
We do have like 6, 7, or 8 homes on the other side of that is in our fire district where we're going to have to go all the way around. If any of them folks call and ask about that, Chief Shikes, Valetown Fire, is aware of it. I've spoke with him, so they will be paged out also, because it's going to take us quite a while to get around that. So I just wanted to let you guys know that.
Yeah, maybe use that with them to put us on top of that list.
Yeah.
Safety.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. So, motion by Councilor Skinsich, supported by Councilor Pulis. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. None. Motion carries to accept Joel and Saab's bid for $56,100.
What's the new name of that company? I can never remember it.
It is Too Easy. Incorporated, DBA, Joel and Saab.
We voted, right? Yeah. Okay. And then lastly, miscellaneous announcements. Do we have anything miscellaneous?
Is there a street dance this year?
Yeah, good question. There, I believe there is.
There was, they were saying the
Street
Southside
dance
Bars
this
have
year?
A band. I don't remember what night though. Is it Thursday or Friday?
July is the big night out, but I don't know when the street dance is.
Yeah, I know they usually have that.
I can't remember offhand.
It's usually on the 3rd, I think, after the...
No.
No, because everybody goes
I've had several people ask. I can reach out to the 3rd of July committee and find out.
Yeah, but we'd have,
It's on the 5th.
ask, but
The street dance is on the 5th.
Okay. I
Pardon me?
couldn't remember.
The street dance is on the 5th.
5th, okay.
That's the Friday. I do want to ask, we are looking for volunteers for the kiddie parade and for the games afterwards. We do have a sign-up form that's been posted in the Concerned Citizen group. I'll make that link available to anybody that wants to share it around, but we do need volunteers or we're not going to be able to have those events. So we only got a couple of people signed up on the list now, but we really need to get volunteers for that.
Yes, please, if anybody's interested, sign up or come to City Hall or let one of us or myself know. Last year worked out, and again, we didn't have much of a list, and we depended on the parents that brought their kids there to step up and sort of referee and help us with it, and it worked out great. we might have to do that again this year. But if you are interested or available, please sign up so we can get it orchestrated. That's one of the things that last year was awesome. Last year was sort of special too because we had 2 of the jets from down in Duluth fly over. So that was a nice little display. It's nice to know somebody. But please sign up. I will do what I can. I won't be running it, but I'm having surgery, so I'll be able to maybe yell as much as I can, but I will more than likely be there. But to get people to hand out prizes and set it up, Sam and I think can get it set up, but please come help. That's all I've got.
I've got just one thing I thought of. Have they said anything more about when they're finishing up by approved plumbing?
No.
Nothing, okay.
I know he's pretty busy with a couple other jobs and, next week after set up, so.
Okay.
And I know I called John about it a couple times on it to one of his inspector buildings.
Okay.
I know he knows about it.
Yeah, that one hole up there, how did that ever come on? You know, in a sewer, you wouldn't think you'd ever get a wash. It looks like something opened up and leaked and washed out. But
It's been, it was like, it got worse.
yeah, I can imagine. It must
It's
really.
not a washout, it's just a manhole that's a little lower. What happened, I believe, is on the design, when they got on the design, it didn't work what he had in the prints, so they ended up moving one manhole down by the entrance of Holiday up a little bit, which then moved this manhole up a little bit into the bank where it's steeper. So I think, as far as I know, when I talked to John, they were going to put like a 4-foot riser on that manhole.
It's up there. It's sitting up there. They brought it up there a few weeks ago.
That'll raise that
I see.
out of that.
Yeah, make the ditch even, then.
Yeah, and then we can slope that bank back a little bit, so then that mud won't look like that.
Right.
And whatnot. So we do have a defense plan devised of it, and as far as I understood, there was going to be, I think, there's costs that we shuffled around within the bid that didn't make it a change order.
So then they spray that with the hay or whatever.
Yeah, mulch and hay.
Right.
They'll clean up all the rocks, I believe.
Yeah.
Whatever they thought was on a skidster, like sort of level ground and cleaning up the rocks.
I was gonna ask about that too, because I'm thinking in the wintertime, if snowmobilers come through there, they're gonna hit some.
Clean all the big heavy rocks.
Because isn't there a completion date on that?
Yeah, I don't know what the exact completion date is. I'll have to try to be able to John again.
Yeah, because then there's, then you get deduct or whatever if you don't reach the.
Contacting heavily about 2 or 3 weeks ago, when trying to get a set deadline when he's going to be out there. And one of the nice things too is, we didn't have to put a culvert up there at the entrance because it's right at the top of the hill where the entrance is. So that's kind of where the deduct came from for the stuff.
So the water can run the other way, both ways.
On the north side.
Because it's right at the peak of the hill. I see, yeah.
All right, it worked out well.
Yeah.
Perfect. Anything else? Any further miscellaneous? Excellent. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Moved by Councillor Pulis.
I'll support.
Supported by Councillor Skinsich. We will adjourn at 7:34 p.m. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say nay. None. Motion carries. Thanks, everyone, for coming.